What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Breakfast with Mark and Jen.
Yep.
We are recording this particular video from Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Let's go.
So far, Jamaica does not owe me anything.
No.
It's already been a good trip for us, but we're still kind of working in terms of recording videos.
Yeah.
We wanted to have content for you guys. Wanted you guys to get at least a little glimpse of where we are. The scenery is absolutely amazing and beautiful. There are palm trees behind us, coconut trees behind us,
Yeah.
a golf course behind us. It's really fun. So, anyway, what we're going to delve into, though, today's topic,
Yeah.
and we're talking about marriage goals or
Okay.
goals within your marriage,
Yeah.
how to set them and how to achieve them. So, I don't know, Mark, do you want to start it off? Do you want me to start it off?
I'll start it off.
All right.
Talking about goals. Number one, right? Your goals should never be just about you. If you're talking about marriage goals, then it should be about your goals together.
Yeah.
So you may have your individual aspirations and things that you want to do, but the question is that the best thing for your marriage?
Yeah.
So you should start thinking about, as you're starting to set goals, is this something that works for both of you?
Yeah.
Is this an interest? Is this an aspiration that both of you want to achieve? Because sometimes, we can't nullify the fact or discount the fact that we are individuals, right?
Yeah.
We have our individual passions.
Yes.
And you may have someone that says, listen, I want 3 kids. That's a goal for me. I mean, I really love kids. Maybe you really love kids, you want 5.
Ooh.
Or you want 6.
All right.
You want a whole litter.
Mhm.
But the other party, your partner, your spouse, doesn't want that many kids. So you can't set a goal
Yeah.
around your own passions, your own aspirations, or your own desires, and you're out here deceiving your spouse because you're trying to get another kid, acting like, things are kosher when they're not kosher, or, people, you'll be surprised at what couples do. Like, I've heard stories of couples where the wife wants another child, but the husband doesn't.
Yeah.
And the husband thinks that she's taking her birth control.
Yikes.
But she stops taking her birth control and is like, oops, I'm pregnant. And now your husband's upset because you haven't done the foundational rule, right? When you're setting marriage goals, it's not about you, it's about us.
It is. And you are, like you said, going to have personal goals.
Yeah.
Because for as much as you're a unit, you are an individual.
Yeah.
And so it's not that you can't have an individual goal, it's that you have to set your individual goals still within the confines of what works best for the unit in every season.
Yeah.
So there is a pastor's wife that I really admire. She's my personal mentor in my head. One day I think that'll change.
I like that in your head.
In my head, because so there's this pastor's wife that I really admire, and she's my mentor in my head.
Yeah.
I say in my head because I've met her before, but we don't have a relationship right now.
Right.
I've only met her one time. I think that'll change one day, but for now, she's just my mentor in my head because I learned from her from afar. But I say all that to say that when I attended a seminar that she was teaching, she talked about how she's so respectful of her marriage being a unit that she has personal goals. I mean, she owns businesses,
Yeah.
she does coaching, but she'll actually ask her husband, hey, these are the goals I have for myself for this year that are outside of maybe what we want to accomplish together.
Right.
How do you think these fit within what we need to accomplish as a household?
Right.
And she said that her husband has never kept her from accomplishing a goal, but there has been times when he said, man, you know what, goal number 3, I just don't see how that's a good idea this year.
Yeah.
And she'll actually scratch it off her list and she saves it for another time. So it's not that you can't achieve your personal goals, it's just that you need to achieve your personal goals still within what works best for the household.
Right, right. So do you think then, Jen, the wife should take a back seat and allow the husband to take the lead on goals? should she, say, hey, this is what I want to do, and he has to acquiesce to her? Like, how do you think that should
I
work?
think both parties are going to have to do give and take.
Yeah.
I don't think in any season, or let me say, I don't think in every season, the same person should be taking the lead.
Okay.
So this same pastor's wife that I admire say that for as much as he is a well-known pastor and I guess evangelist with so many things to do,
Right.
she said there's been other years where as they're preparing for the upcoming year, he'll say, you know what? You have taken a step back on that particular goal for 2 years in a row now. This goal is important to me, but we can't both accomplish these two major goals. So how about for the next year or two, I won't go after this so that you now
Yeah.
can go
Yeah.
after something you've been waiting on.
Yeah.
So I think in some cases the wife has to take a step back,
Yeah.
but I think in some cases the husband has to take a step back.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. But often, you know, I feel it for women.
Yeah.
I feel it for wives because they don't necessarily have a husband that's going to lead, right? So like when you have a wife that has a husband who is slow,
Mm.
who isn't a go-getter,
Oh.
who doesn't like to take the steering wheel, right, and drive the family figuratively.
Yeah.
So in that sense, she feels like, man, I've got to be the one to make the plans. I've got to be the one to put the strategy forward. And I think that's when it becomes most difficult, right? Because for a woman that wants to have a husband that leads,
Yeah.
to feel the pressure of always having to
That's
lead
tough. Yeah.
is pretty difficult. And I agree, it's going to have to be give and take on both sides.
Yes.
But then I guess the same is true for a husband. Sometimes we have to do a better job of listening to what you guys have to say
Hmm.
because you can see things that we can't see.
Yeah.
I think that what we've learned in our marriage after 16 years is, man, we both have different gifts. And if we're setting goals, why don't we use each other's gifts
Yeah.
to get us to that place?
Hmm.
So if I'm a strategist, well, okay, let's apply some strategy to these goals. But if you are a discerner and you're able to be like, I don't think
Yeah.
this is the time, then I should rely on your gift
Yeah.
to get us there.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely great. So one of the things then that we're saying is that first of all, in order to set goals within a marriage, it has to be a conversation
Yeah,
and probably multiple conversations.
yeah,
But you can't set goals on your own without a conversation.
yep,
And then number two, in order to achieve those goals, decide how you're going to divide and conquer. Who's going to be the one, like you said, to come up with the strategy and the
right,
plan?
right.
Then who's going to be the one to say, I'm really have a knack for discerning the will of God and the
Right.
time and the season of
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
And I also think that when you're setting a goal with your spouse, and I'm borrowing this from a book you shared with me that you're reading, is talking about even like the habits that you're going to develop so that you can hold each other accountable. I mean, really get into the details. So if your spouse is like, hey, I want to start a tea business,
yeah,
and you believe that this is the season for them to start that business, then tell your spouse, okay, what habits then are you going to develop? So maybe, for example, the habits for that spouse are each day they're going to read a chapter out of a book that's all about tea making.
hmm,
Maybe each week they're going to watch at least one video on YouTube from people who have had successful tea businesses and learn some of the nuances. Maybe, those types of habits.
hmm,
Ask them what are they going to do to achieve those goals
right.
so that they can also be held accountable by you.
Yeah. And one of the things that we got to be careful of,
Hmm.
okay, is adopting other goals that we see in marriages, like in our friends or on
Yes.
social media.
Yes.
And right now, we're in Jamaica,
Yeah.
right? And we said this year we're gonna take a vacation. We hope to take another vacation,
Yeah.
right? Even after this.
Hmm.
But somebody's watching this right now and they're like, listen, they're in Jamaica. That's a goal for us. We got to be in Jamaica too. But it may not even be for you or even be your season. What we got to be careful of, not only individualistically, but as a marriage, is not to adopt somebody else's process, somebody else's plan
That's good.
and pathway, and say, because it looks great,
Yeah.
then we gotta take that kind of vacation too. And
And a
that,
lot of couples are experiencing things that look great and they might be great, but you don't know
listen,
the fight
let's
that some
come
people had to
on,
get to where they are in life.
come
So
on,
your goal should be, we want to take the best time away
yeah,
that we can as a couple in every season of our lives.
yeah.
But if you see a couple in Barcelona, Spain right now, but you know that your bank account is not saying Barcelona, Spain, it's saying Virginia Beach, but then there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing
You can
wrong with that.
aspire to have that as a goal later, but you don't
Yeah,
have to do it the exact same time the other couple is
yeah.
doing it. And
Because you've been talking about Greece, right?
yeah,
And how much it's on your bucket list to go to Greece. But we're not doing Greece this year.
yeah,
We're not doing Greece this year.
yeah,
So, but that's the thing, is that we get so caught up in comparison, or not even seeking God
yeah.
for our own goals.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Seek God for what he actually wants to accomplish in your marriage. That really is number one.
Yeah,
Before you have the conversation,
yeah.
before you come up with what habits you're going to follow, before you come up with the strategy, actually that should be number one, is praying and asking God, what do you want to do through us as a married couple? What goals do you have for us? Because if your goals are his goals, you will win every time.
Every time, every time. And that's sometimes why we experience failure,
Yeah.
is because we're not doing it according to God's goals. Then, when you bring a family into the picture, when you bring kids into the picture, I think it makes all the difference in the world.
Oh yeah.
So, as Jen said, we have a golf course behind us, and it's my dream to play at a golf course that looks like this. I mean, it is beautiful. It's right off of the shore. You get the palm trees. Like, I want to capture all of this. But then when I looked at the price, I was like, it's great, but it ain't that great.
Oh boy.
Because my goals, our goals as a marriage, have to involve and account for all the other people that depend on us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and hit balls at the driving range and really take it in, but I can't play the full 18 holes
Mhm.
because that's not within the full scope of what we want to accomplish on this trip.
Mhm.
Even financially, because the kids want to do this, kids want to do that. I think you get to a place of maturity when you're able to say, hey, our marriage goals also encompass our family
I
goals.
think that's good. I think that's good. And we know that, like Mark said, our kids just have things that they want to accomplish, things that they need to accomplish. And it's not that he couldn't take the funds and use it for that, but is that the best way for us to continue accomplishing the goals we have for a family, the entire household for the year? And the answer is probably not.
It's probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got anything else?
I would also say when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to setting goals for your marriage as a couple, is that it's interesting that social media right now, and for several years now, has had this hashtag called relationship goals.
Yeah.
I think the only relationship goals that you should have as a married couple that probably are like other couples is the goal to accomplish your purpose
Yeah.
through Christ on earth, is to be a healthy marital unit, is to make sure that you live the best life you possibly can as a married unit. But other than that, your relationship goals shouldn't be, I want to be just like that other person. Unless, you can admire things and there's things you
Yeah.
can take from other
Yeah.
marriages.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes that hashtag relationship goals can almost be toxic depending on what level and what degree to which you're saying these are my, relationship goals.
Yeah, because we look at other couples and we're like, hashtag relationship goals, because we see them accomplish something or do something, or they come together and they start a coffee business. They
Yeah.
come together and they win a Grammy. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have a musical note in your body, in your
Right.
conscious, not even musical bone. You don't
Yeah.
have a musical fiber
Oh, wow.
within you, but
Okay.
yet you see somebody, you see a married couple come together and produce this awesome song,
Yeah.
and they win a Grammy, you're like hashtag relationship
Right.
goals. And then now you're actually influenced by that. I think that's what you're saying. I
Yeah.
think that that's really important and critical to consider.
Yes. And you know, there's a scripture, Mark, that says, commit your ways to the Lord, and every work shall
Yeah,
be established.
yeah,
Did I get that correct?
close.
Sorry, correct me.
No, because I don't know the full
Okay.
verse.
But I know
But
that
so
I'm paraphrasing, but what
listen,
the Bible is saying is commit what you have on your heart, what you have on your mind, what
yeah,
you want to get done in life, commit that to the Lord, and He will establish those works. But He'll only establish them if they're in line with what He wants for you, though. So sometimes I think that scripture is taken out of context. We're like, but God, I am committing my plans to you. You're not establishing my plans.
yeah, and I think like that's the whole point of the verse
Yes.
is committing it to God
Yeah.
and allowing Him to do the work.
Yes, He'll establish what He knows needs to be established in your life. And I would also say, lastly, Mark, things keep coming to me, but when it comes to relationship goals, be open to a change of plans, because Mark and I both believe that a change of plans on our part is actually just still plan A on God's part.
Yeah,
We personally don't believe that God has a perfect will versus a permissive will, which is a whole other topic.
yeah,
But we believe that God just has a perfect will.
yeah,
And so a lot of times when you're like, oh man, by now we should have done this as a couple. By now we should have accomplished, oh man, I ended up having to stop school, and now I guess this is God's plan B. He always had it in his plan A, knowing that you were going to have to stop school.
always.
It's a plan B for you because you just don't see everything that he wants to do in your life.
Right.
But I would say when you're when you're creating goals,
Yeah.
just be flexible.
Yeah.
Because just because God may seem to have allowed a delay does not mean it is a denial. So when you're establishing goals as a couple, be flexible with timing, be flexible with how it happens, be flexible with who God uses as a destiny helper to help
Right.
you allow it to happen.
Yeah.
I would just say be open-minded and be flexible to the Holy Spirit, because rarely do things go the way we plan,
Listen,
if ever.
listen, when you sign up to say, Lord, direct my life,
Yeah.
just expect that it's not going to go according to your plan.
No,
It's just not going to happen that way.
no.
But that's great because we're not our own. We
Yeah.
belong to Him. And it's great because you really don't know what's best for you.
Correct.
So to have the advantage of God guiding you, leading you,
Right.
and directing you is the best advantage there is in this earth,
Absolutely.
in this world. All
Yes.
right. So we want y'all to really hone in on setting goals,
Yes.
stick to those goals. And then, as you were referencing that book that I was talking to you about, the habits and the discipline is going to be really critical
Yes.
to move it forward.
Yes.
And in order to get the outcome, you have to focus on the inputs. And the
So
inputs
good.
of habits will really,
Yes.
really allow you to meet your goal. I think sometimes we look at the goal, but we don't look at the inputs and strive for the inputs as hard as we look at the outcomes.
That's so good.
Because you want to, hey, take a vacation, but what are the habits that's going to get you there? Focus on that. That'll actually produce the outcome you're looking for. So
Yes.
listen, this has been a great one.
It's been a great one. We have more
Um,
relaxing to do.
We have more relaxing to do. This has been exciting. I don't know if y'all heard, but we just released a 6-week marriage course
Yes.
talking about how you can live or how you can have the marriage of your dreams, but have it together and
Yes.
do it together. And we
Mhm.
want to encourage you that we believe that this 6-week course is
Yes.
going to transform your marriage, is going to put you on the right path. So we want you to go to cleveco.com. All right. It's going to be linked on this video and check it out.
Yes.
And you and your spouse do it together. The material we think is life changing.
Absolutely. It comes with a digital workbook.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that you'll have your homework assignments and everything with it. So we
Yeah.
think that's just an added bonus.
Yeah.
We wanted to give you all something written that you could use to help reflect on each session.
Yeah.
So it's really chock full of information in
Yeah.
the videos and then in the written digital workbook.
Yeah, I think the homework is the best part.
It's so good.
Because without
As
the
a
homework,
marriage, a good marriage takes work.
yeah,
So you got to do some
you gotta
homework.
do some homework, and it'll really help your life, help your marriage. So we want you to get that. Tell somebody about it, share it, and this has been a great episode
Yes.
from Jamaica. All right.
Ah.
So we will catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. This has been another episode of Breakfast with Mark and Jen, and we will catch you next time. Take care.